This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip. Here is our reoccurring daydream. Us at a drool-worthy pool, surrounded by our business besties. We just finished a powerful exercise on building our dream lives and executing our business goals. Join us if you are ready to be celebrated for taking up space, to feel purposeful, and to live a life of fulfillment. Go to proofitspossible.com for more info. Welcome to Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are multifaceted entrepreneurs, the founders of the Ultimate Girls Trip, and the hosts of Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are also sisters, best friends, and complete opposites, but somehow we always manage to stay on the same team. Join us every week to hear our thoughts on all things entrepreneurship, friendship, family, pop culture, and more. Welcome back, and thank you guys so much for joining us again this week. Today we are talking about Jamie's 30th birthday trip to New York City.
30th?
30th? You
40th.
40th birthday to New York City that we took a few months ago. And basically, why going to New York City was not just your run-of-the-mill birthday celebration girls trip, and why it's actually important in your life and in your business. So, first and foremost, I will start with the obvious. It's important to celebrate life's milestones. So we did it because, it's hard and it was challenging for us and our girlfriend to take time away from our lives and our families and our people. But prioritizing friendship is critical, in my opinion, for moms to, especially moms, but entrepreneurs, women in general, to re-find themselves and their joy. Don't you think?
Yes. Well, yes, I 100% think that you have to celebrate life's big moments. So it was my 40th birthday, and just having like a quiet dinner at home didn't feel like a big enough celebration.
Totally. You absolutely deserve more than that. But
absolutely. And I will also agree that it's important to have a life outside of your mommy duties.
Yes,
I love my children a lot, and I support them in every single day. But on my birthday, I don't think that it's selfish to want to have a day where I don't have other people needing things from me.
For sure.
I think it's okay to leave your responsibilities at home, to go and celebrate yourself, to get some rest, to do the things that light you up. Versus,
as if we got any rest. Oh my God, that was the
rest in the fact that I'm not cooking and cleaning for people on demand. I'm not driving to sports. Rest is different for me. Yeah. No, I didn't have any good sleeps or anything. I wasn't.
No, we got up early and
laying in bed for 16 hours a day, being wow, what a restful vacation. No, New York City doesn't roll like that.
No, and who would want it to? Oh my God, it's the greatest place on earth.
Yeah, midnight when we were rolling into the hotel, I was like, who? I don't even recognize myself. I don't even know who I am. I would be asleep for 4 hours in my regular day.
Exactly.
But here I am just getting a Starbucks on the corner of.
Exactly. Well, and what I think is so important, and I don't know why, I love traveling and I love lots of big cities and I love going different places because they have different vibes. But for me, our trip to New York City and trips in the past that I've taken to New York City over the years, there is an aliveness about New York City that I find I'm my totally different self there. When I go on vacation with Darren and we're at a beach, there is real life relaxing where you're sitting on the lounger and you're, eating dinner at 4:30 because why not? You're just kind of in this weird no time life. And laid back. And New York City makes me feel alive. All the messy parts, all the beautiful parts, but it just makes me feel like I want to grab a drink and go for dinner and have a fancy coffee. And
so that's the other thing, is that making dinner reservations for 10 and 11 p.m. is wild.
But I've never had a New York City trip where I didn't do it.
100%. It's
It's
rite
their
of passage
culture.
when you're in New
Yeah,
York City. It's just like what you do. But I
totally.
also think getting out of your normal routine is the
Yes.
crazy fun part of it. Like the
Yeah.
fact that we're eating dinner at 11 p.m. when we usually eat dinner at 4:30, 5 o'clock
Yeah.
is crazy and fun and wild. I also think that it's I would agree with you that New York City has like an energy that is unmatched. Like I I'm not like a Times Square lover or anything, but I do feel like the
Yes.
second I'm in Times Square, I'm like, something is
Impossible.
possible.
Oh, totally. Like
Like there's
New York City is proof it's possible.
it is proof it's possible. And when you
Yes.
see the naked cowboy
Yeah.
who you've seen for the last 20 years still rocking the same corner, you're like, that dude has made a life out of
Of
being the
this.
naked
Yeah. Well, and
cowboy.
what's even more impressive is if you like go, on like a building tour or something like that, and you see when those buildings were built, it was a near impossible task to even imagine the way, because they didn't have cranes and technology and all the things.
Hmm.
Like some of the buildings are brand new, but the old beautiful buildings, it's like, how did they even make this beautiful building? Like I'm in
Hmm.
awe of all of it. I'm in all of the awe of the like
Architecture?
industriousness of the
Yeah.
people from the past. And like
Yeah.
it honestly was such big thinking and dream building and dream
Hmm.
life believing, like all the stuff we like talk about and talk in our ultimate girls trip and stuff. And
Even
having a
even like Dale, I think that like the power in anybody can make money doing anything is so vibrant in New
yes,
York City. Like my
totally.
example about the like naked cowboy, that man has made a like a decent living, obviously,
Yes.
being the naked cowboy. And then you go on like a walking tour and you think to yourself, like, this is just a person who knew the city,
Mm-hmm.
who has
Totally.
tens of thousands of positive 5-star Google reviews
Mhm.
because he's like so good at his job. But he literally just took his skill, which was I know my way around New York City, and I'm a pretty much like a history buff, so I can point out some like details that I think some people will think are pretty
Yeah.
interesting. And he's made this whole life and career out of just the knowledge he already had.
Yep.
He didn't have to go to
Zero
school for it.
dollars.
He didn't have to,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
he literally just had an idea, and he might have even just borrowed the idea from a walking tour he went on or a bus tour that he went
Exactly.
on, but he has created a whole life out of it. And the last guy that we went on the walking tour with all of the positive Google reviews, and this wasn't this past trip, but the trip before that, he was like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I never thought I'd own a home in New York City, but my wife and I and our 2 kids just bought a, apartment and whatever, wherever. But I'm like, proof that he took this small
Mhm.
little idea and
Totally.
built a big enough dream, or built it out
Absolutely.
so big that he was able to buy a house or an apartment in one of the most expensive cities in the entire world.
Exactly. Like it's amazing. Sorry, I have to sneeze.
So anyways, I just think that New York City is like proof that anything is possible. And then
Mm-hmm.
even when we were there at midnight, remember just before
Yep.
midnight in Times Square, because we stayed just off of Times Square, there was all of these people like rushing to Times Square, and we're like, what is happening? What's going on? What's going on? And then we found out that every night at midnight, all of the billboards changed to one artist, like a chosen artist's artwork, digital
Yep.
artwork that gets displayed
And it's
across
a contest. Yeah.
every single billboard in all of Times Square. And I was like, wow, that's a really crazy thing to think that somebody was creating something, this is
Mm-hmm.
my imagination. I have no idea what they were doing, but I'm like, they're sitting in front of their computer, maybe as their side hustle, maybe it's just a passion project. And we're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to create this cute little cartoon digital art. And then
Or yeah.
it literally shuts down Times
Times
Square,
Square.
and people gather to just get video of the person that was chosen for that
Mm-hmm.
midnight art rush or whatever they call it.
Exactly.
Like,
I
I'm
know.
like, this
It's
is wild. It's proof that
what.
anybody doing anything, it's possible. It's possible.
I agree. And like when I'm there, that's why I'm lit up. That's why I love it. And like aside from the city itself, like any trip away with your girlfriends, I also think has value in that it's very like connection building. Like we got time with our girlfriend who we just with 3 busy lives, you guys both have kids,
Mhm.
we just got to be together. We got to laugh, we got to walk around, we got to sip coffee, we got to shop. And that's the kind of time that in our regular lives If we were like, let's spend 3 days together walking around Calgary, nobody would do it.
No.
Or walking around Kelowna. Like
I
you'd,
also think that like the shared experience of like getting on the plane, getting
yes,
to the hotel, eating
yes,
breakfast, lunch, dinner together, having your snacks
exactly.
together, your coffees together,
Yeah,
shopping together, doing all the touristy things together. The shared experience in itself is like the bonding. Like the
absolutely. And
fact
like,
that you were all there and there wasn't a moment where you
mhm,
weren't all sharing that same experience. When you're in your own city and in your regular lives, you might go for a 2-hour dinner, but then you're going to
exactly.
return back to your regular life. You're not
Yep.
going to know whether she drinks her coffee with cream or
No,
hazelnut cream
exactly.
or black. You're not going to
And you're not
know
gonna have
that.
endless hours where you run out of things to say, so you move on to like topics you've never scratched the surface of because
Exactly.
you only have dinner with each other. So you have a quick dinner and you catch up on like the highlights of life and what's going on and how everyone's doing in their life, and then you move on. But like on a girls trip, God only knows where the conversations will go. And like from everything from like wild and hilarious to like serious work problems or business talk that you're like, oh my gosh, this is what's going on with me. And this is how I've had to
Mm-hmm.
handle it. And what do you guys think? So it's just such an expansive opportunity for friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And like this obviously wasn't our ultimate girls trip, and the point of this like podcast is not to say like come on our ultimate girls trip, although we'd love to have you. It's to say go on the trip, make the time to spend
Mm-hmm.
time with women, to connect with women, to be in that space where you get to be like, oh yeah, I'm like with my high school girlfriends again, and we have lots of fun inside jokes, or my college
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends, or my 20s girlfriends, or my 30s girlfriends,
And
or
I
your
will
current
say this
girlfriend.
is like superficial of me, but I do think it plays a role that like when I'm going out for dinner on a Tuesday with my family, I'm
Yeah.
not wearing my cutest outfit.
No,
I'm not putting on
no.
those earrings that I've been saving.
Yeah.
I'm not like dusting off my
Hmm.
favorite high heels. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I save that for like my girls' time.
Oh, yeah.
And so I also feel like girls trip is an opportunity to be like your best self when you're feeling your most
Absolutely.
confident, you're in your favorite outfit, you're
Hmm.
overdressed a little, you're wearing the thing that you think is too crazy for your everyday, but you love that you get to go out on a girls
Yes,
night out in the town and wear the thing. Like
totally.
I just
Absolutely.
think that it like puts you into this different headspace where you're like I can be a little.
Well, and it takes me back to when I was like younger and did that all the time. Like
Yes.
when you'd go out with your girlfriends on a Saturday night and be like, have the perfect outfit, the perfect dress, the perfect
Yes.
earrings, whatever. I did that a lot in my 20s. And then now it's like, oh, it's really cold out. So I probably am not going downtown for dinner because we'd have to park and then we'd have to walk. And like, I need to go somewhere for dinner with like a parking lot. And then once you get to parking lot restaurants, the earrings go off the plate too because they're a little too fancy for parking lot restaurants. Like there's just something about a parking lot restaurant that it's not downtown and you don't need to dress up for it, right?
Yes, yes,
So
totally.
I
And
want
I feel
more.
like,
I want
and speaking
more
of
not
which,
parking lot restaurant experiences.
New York City doesn't have any
But
parking lots.
zero
So
parking lot.
every opportunity to
No
wear the
wonder I love
earrings
it.
is there for
Yeah,
every meal.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So yes, I agree with you. Whatever the trip is, whatever that looks like for you, get on a girls trip. Go do
Yes.
something like
You
just book the
won't be
trip. Go
sorry.
have
Yeah.
if it's a weekend away camping with your girlfriends, just do it. Just do
Mm-hmm.
the thing that you've been saying you're going to do. Get it out of the group chat and into the real life.
Exactly. I
Actually
agree.
do it.
I agree. You won't be sorry, and we hope you take our advice.
Bye,
Have
guys.
a
Till
great
next
week.
time.
We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks and chat next time.